Hey, welcome back to Limited Skills. I'm James.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mitch.
Hi, Mitch.
Hey!
Hi, Mitch.
Hey!
Mitch is helping us out with our third and hopefully final chunk of our Amonkhet set review. And we are going to start with Tah-Crop Elite. Tah-Crop Elite is a bird warrior, so another card for our friend's bird commander deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4-mana 2/2 with flying, and you can exert it, and it gets +1. Oh, sorry. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
That is a better exert than most of them, which is surprising because this is just a common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card seems fine.
Yeah, I'd be real happy with this.
Yep.
It does count itself also.
Mhm.
Yeah, this seems like a very good common.
Yeah.
I would play it.
I would pick it.
Yeah.
And then not play it.
Yeah. This seems fine.
Tah-Crop Skirmisher. I was trying to make a crop top joke.
Crop top, yeah.
Crop top Skirmisher.
Yeah.
For 2 mana, it's a blue Naga warrior. It's a 2/1, and it has Embalm for 4, and that's all it does.
That's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
For blue. They don't have, as much creature presence, so
I
just
prob-
getting another creature is good.
I probably wouldn't pick it.
I probably wouldn't play it.
Yeah.
But I hate blue cards.
It helps with my Naga EDH deck, so.
I would believe that you have a Naga EDH deck.
I do now, so yeah.
Here's Temmet, Vizier of Naktamun. He's a white-blue human cleric.
Yeah, I was going to take over, and
You
if it
can
was
take
easier
over.
for me to read.
Go for it.
White-blue, he's 2 for a 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. And he has Embalm for 5. So that's really cool. He actually does nothing if you don't have creature tokens. So encourage your, first off, primarily your cat tokens, but also anything embalmed. This would work very well with. And there's a lot of zombie tokens too, so it's not going to be hard to get tokens, but it is a bummer that if you just play him as a 2/2, he does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw in here, though, Brandon, that most of the effects that just generate zombie tokens are black. So if you're getting those effects,
then you're playing 3
you're
color.
in 3
You're
color.
right. It is worth noting that his ability can target himself, so the embalmed version of him can make himself a 3/3 unblockable.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you could pitch him with one of your discard effects and then
Yeah.
embalm him. And
He's better in the afterlife.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those who serve. This is a 3-mana 2/4.
It's a zombie in white.
I like it.
This is a Pillar Field Ox.
Yeah.
But way more valuable, though, because the creature type, which is weird.
Yeah.
And the art's really cool.
Pillar Field Zombie.
You know, I've been really happy, I think, with all of the white zombie art, all the mummy art.
I think it looks really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little creepy, but...
That's what I like about them, though. They're kind of creepy.
Here's a Thresher Lizard for 3. It's red. I'm not going to tell you its creature type. I'm going to let you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Thresher Lizard gets +1/+2 as long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, and it's a 3/2.
So it's a 4/4 with Heckbent.
Yep, good old Heckbent.
Or 4 with
Yeah,
Heckbent.
seems pretty good. But
It's
you
good.
have to have Heckbent, I guess.
I mean, 3 for a 3/2 is a solid size and limited. I would be pretty happy with this, I think. Especially if you're coming out aggressive, you're going to be
Yeah,
more
you're-
likely to not have a hand of cards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Throne of the God-Pharaoh for 2. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control.
Ooh, I like that. I think that's really cool.
This is a really cool card in Commander.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
You can convoke with it
Yeah.
and do stuff. You can attack stuff. It's good in token decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I were playing an aggressive, really creature-heavy or token deck, I would play this, but I wouldn't just cram it necessarily into every...
Yeah, it doesn't fit
Every
every
limited
archetype.
deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's each opponent, so it's pretty cool.
I am excited to see how it plays. Time to Reflect on Throne of the God-Pharaoh. Time to Reflect is a 1-mana white instant that exiles target creature that blocked this... Sorry. Exile target creature that blocked or was blocked by a zombie this turn.
Well, that's going to be really easy to do, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets rid of
so
that
that's cool.
angel.
Yeah, it gets rid of...
Yeah.
I think that's the angel getting gotten.
Yeah, he's
It's-
like, oh man.
It's a bummer. This card seems pretty good. However, there's, of course, going to be a time you draw it and you just don't have a zombie.
Yeah.
And then it's just a completely dead card. And also, I think a lot of players, maybe people that just haven't played as much, don't understand that you can block with a creature, and before the damage actually is dealt, then you can get this effect. So I think a lot of people are going to see this and think, oh, but I would have already had to have thrown a creature away to it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be easy for a lot of players to overlook this. So I encourage, this is a card that'll be very good to teach people how combat works with.
Yeah.
I guess this is like a weird corner case, and I can't imagine it popping up in most limited games. But it says exile target creature that was blocked or blocked by a zombie this turn. So you could cast it on your second main. You don't have to cast it during combat.
Absolutely.
So if you go into combat and it goes poorly, and then you draw a bunch of cards and you draw this card, you can use it to exile that thing that blocked your zombie and murdered it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool.
You can't imagine that happening a lot, but that's a thing you can do. Tormenting Voice. This is a red sorcery for 2. As an additional cost to cast Tormenting Voice, discard a card. Draw 2 cards.
This is a reprint that has been good in most cases, and I think because of the synergy of discarding stuff, this seems just as good as the other times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is something I would play in red sometimes even without the synergy. But yeah, this is definitely a playable card. I think a lot of people are easy to look over.
Yeah, I think it gets better because of all the synergy, but I think it's fine on its own.
I like the pyramid with the sun art.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's pretty
The
cool.
art on this card reminds me of older Magic art.
It does.
Yeah.
Before they really refined it. I think it's fine. I don't think the art looks bad, but it's just very reminiscent of, I don't know, like Mirage era
for sure.
art to
For
me.
The coloration, I think. The coloration's not as...
pristine.
Yeah. Trespasser's Cure. This card also looks really pretty.
Or Curse.
Or Curse. It could also be Trespasser's Curse. The verdict's out. Mitch, do you want to vote?
I abstain.
All right, we'll never know.
Trespasser's Curse is a 2-mana black enchant player. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Meh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think this could fit into the right deck. This is a bummer card to draw late.
Yeah.
But if you draw it early, there's a good chance they're going to take a bunch of punishment off of this.
Yeah.
This is a card that you draft like 7 of, and then just keep putting them on the opponent.
Yeah, yeah.
So do that. Draft all 7 of these that you see.
That's what I'm going to do now.
Is this rare?
It's a common.
It's a common.
I have a really hard time telling the color difference on our
Some
little
sets
screen
it's
here.
a little hard.
Trial of Ambition. This is a black 2-mana enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent sacrifices a creature. Ooh, this is neat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
When
the
a cartouche
trials.
enters the battlefield under your control, return Trial of Ambition to its owner's hand.
Mm-hmm. So you keep using it.
That's really neat.
This is a very good, because that's a normal cost for that effect.
Yeah.
2 mana to make somebody sack a creature at sorcery speed, and then the cartouches, which are common, there's 1 in each color, and you don't even have to line it up with the same color.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to respam these effects. They seem... The cartouches were fine, and these trials seem amazing.
Yep. Trial of Knowledge. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. And then it's got that... let's see. Yeah, when a cartouche enters the battlefield, return Trial of Knowledge to your owner's hand. Yep. This could draw you that cartouche.
I think the lore behind the trials and the cartouches is like the cartouche is like a badge that you passed the trial. So then when you play the cartouche, like the creature completed the trial, so then you return the trial to your hand.
Oh.
So you completed the trial.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah.
I like that.
Trial of Solidarity. This is a 3-mana white enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +2/+1 in vigilance until end of turn.
Oh, that's pretty.
And it has cartouche bounce.
That seems amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So I feel like there are a lot of tokens. I feel like there's a lot of mass creatures. I feel like there's a lot of good cheap creatures. And then I feel like there are a lot of team pump effects.
There are a bunch.
Way more than I think an average set has.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to see a lot of, oh, suddenly my team is twice as big, and people getting blown out by that. This seems like the best one. Now, it's not an instant, which is sometimes, that's a pretty big deal. But getting 2/1 in Vigilance for 3 mana is really good. And then the fact that you can spam it. I mean, some of the cartouches are 1 mana. You could, for 7 mana, give your whole team +4/+2.
Yeah. I think this card's going to throw people a little bit because it is an enchantment.
Yeah.
And so they're going to evaluate it maybe less than they would a combat trick. But another way to look at this is basically as a sorcery.
Yeah.
that sticks around.
A reusable sorcery.
Yeah. Trial of Strength. This is a 3-mana green enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, you get a 4/2 green beast creature token. This is kind of boring.
It's good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4/2s can murder people fast or trade with decent-sized creatures.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just boring.
It's
I like
boring. You're right.
I like the art. I think the art's cool.
Oh, yeah. He's talking to a... Is that a...
That's the snake god.
And talking to a jackal archer.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And it looks like in the bush, there's like little eyes, so there's like
Ooh.
somebody waiting for him. Spooky.
I like that the most interesting thing about this card is its art.
Yep.
Trial of Zeal. When it enters the battlefield for 3 mana, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player.
That's a good effect to keep spamming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Play this card and all the cartouches you can find.
Yeah, I would play every one of these trials. I think I would be least excited about the blue one, which is still fine, but I
Yeah.
think the other 4, spamming those effects will win you the game.
Yep.
Where the blue one, you will get to the card that will win you the game,
Yeah.
but it won't win on its own.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other 4 trials, I can't see myself ever not playing.
Nope. I love them. Trueheart Duelist. 2 mana for a 2/2. It can block an additional creature each combat, and it has Embalm for 3. So, you throw him under the bus, he gets run over, and then you bring him back.
Yep.
To get hit by the Mack truck.
Exactly.
This guy seems like a good value bear.
Yeah.
He's 2 for a 2/2. And then you bring him back for 3. Where he gets run over again. I like this guy a lot. People are going to be frustrated by this guy.
Yeah.
Trueheart Twins. When you may exert Trueheart Twins as it attacks, and whenever you exert a creature, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn.
That's
Also,
it's
it's
a
a
5
5
mana
mana 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to those birds we saw earlier, this helps more than just that one creature.
Yep.
And I think that makes it a little better than a lot of the other exert effects.
And it.
Oh, sorry, this one is anytime you
it-
exert
exactly,
any creature.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
this
oh,
one doesn't
man.
even have to be attacking.
Exert Tribal. You attack with 3 things with exert them all. They all get +3/+0.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Gross.
That's another team pumping effect.
Unburden. 3 mana black sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards, and it has cycling for 2. Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost a strictly better mind rot, but it's got 2 black in the casting cost, so it's not as
Right.
easily splashable. But yeah, I'm more excited about this, I think, because I don't often main deck mind rot, but I would main deck this.
Yeah. Just because you can cycle it.
Yeah.
Unwavering Initiate. This is a 3 mana 3/2 in white. It has Vigilance and Embalm for 5.
It seems really good. I like that size and value, and I'm fond of Vigilance. So
There's a lot of vigilance in the set. There's a ton of it.
That's because everything's
there's-
undead.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't get sleepy.
Nope. Even when they're alive, they're not sleepy.
That's because he's working out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's
I
pretty
mean, that
ripped.
guy's pretty ripped. He could beat all of us up.
But 2 cats can kill him. That's 2 elf.
or
just
one
gets-
cat with a cat leader.
Yeah, the cat.
just
yeah.
cheering him on.
You can do it, buddy. Just claws him. He's really allergic. He's like, oh god. Anyway.
4 mana for Violent Impact in red. It's a sorcery, destroy target artifact or land. It has cycling of 2 colorless, so I think this is a strictly better Demolish.
Yep.
Which is this exact effect at the same cost.
Is Demolish an instant?
I think no, it was a sorcery
Oh,
still.
yeah,
It's
this is
very
just-
rare they do land destruction at instant speed. So this is strictly better, which I like every other card with cycling makes this playable. In limited, I'm very tempted to play this kind of effect just because, they're splashing that mountain for that bomb rare, and I can screw them out of that. But I don't want to put the card in my deck just for that one corner case. But I'll be happy drawing it if it's there.
Then if it turns out they have 6 mountains and 17 forests, you can just cycle it away.
Or you can destroy one of the forests,
Yep.
and then it'll have 16.
I don't think we've seen a whole lot of artifact destruction.
Not really.
And there are those legendary uncommon,
Which are all fine.
And getting rid of those would be handy.
Yep.
So this might be more playable just because of limited artifact removal, and I feel like you're actually going to see a lot of artifacts.
Yeah, probably. Here's a Vizier of Deferment, 3 mana human cleric. He's a 2/2 with flash, and When he enters the battlefield, you can exile a creature if it attacked or blocked this turn, and return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So he flickers.
Yep,
That's
I
cool.
like
You
it.
can remove one of their attackers,
Mm-hmm.
or blocker if they're trying to do a trick that's not favorable for you, or you can spam one of your comes into play effects.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's really good. 3 for a 2/2 flash is fine anyway, and then some extra flavor.
This is a very versatile card.
And you can protect your own creatures, right? Because if it attacked and if it's about to die, you can...
Yep.
Yeah, if they play a combat trick on it or something. Yep.
Seems good.
Here's Vizier of Many Faces. This is a blue Shapeshifter Cleric for 4. It's a 0/0. You can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except if Vizier of Many Faces was embalmed. The token has no mana cost. It's white, and it's a zombie, in addition to its other... Oh, so they didn't have enough room to put the embalm rules reminder text behind the embalm ability, so they just jammed it on the rest of the card.
That's...
Well, when they... Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it's different because it's... The embalming is copying... There's like an extra step here, so they wanted to emphasize...
That when you copy a thing, it's still an embalmed Vizier of Many Faces.
Yeah,
Because it does have embalm for 5.
Yeah. So that's neat.
I like it.
That's cool. It's just clone, but you get an embalm to clone again.
Yep.
That's cool. This card seems very good.
I think it'll be exciting to play and see what goofy things you can do with it. Vizier of Remedies. 2 mana, 2/1, human cleric. If one or more -1/-1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many -1/-1 counters -1.
All right, let's explain why this is funny, because we were complaining earlier about how hard it is to say a -1/-1 counter and how we're saying -1/-1 all the time. So this card says if one or more, and then it says -1/-1 counters would be put on a creature you control. That many -1/-1 counters, as it normally is said. But then, in regular English text, not showing us the power toughness, -1 are put on it instead, using it a different way. This is frustrating to read.
I feel
the
like
point
this-
is, if you're going to get -1 counters on one of your creatures, you get one less. I wish it said that.
I feel like it was printed just for this purpose. I'm not even kidding. It is printed just so it would have those words
In
together.
development, they were like, man, this is really annoying. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then Steve said, hey, wait, what if they got -1/-1 counters?
You're promoted.
Oh, that is actually frustrating, and I think it's going to cause a lot of people to sit and
"What?"
stare at it when their opponent
Yeah,
shows
yeah.
it to them. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of questions about this. Not because the card itself is complicated, but the English on it is just weird.
It's very weird.
You actually say -1/-1 5 times reading this card. Or sorry, you say -1 5 times.
Yeah, yeah.
You say -1 6 times -1.
Okay, favorite card. Got it.
Vizier of the Menagerie. We didn't even talk about if this card's good or
Oh,
not. Let's
It's
not.
whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah, who cares?
It's 2 for a 2/1 that can save your creatures. It's
What does
fine.
it do again?
I don't want to talk about it.
Here's Vizier of the Menagerie for 4. It's a 3/4. You can look at the top card of your library. You can do this at any time. You may cast the top card of your library if it's a creature card. You may spend mana as though or mana of any type to cast creature spells.
This is very good. I like this a lot. This is
card's
mythic.
cool.
So you're not going to run into it a whole lot, but this is a lot of value.
Yeah.
So neat thing. So this is reminiscent of let's see, Garrick's Horde did this, but you revealed the top card, and similarly, Oracle of Moldiah and some other effects make it where you reveal it. So you've got hidden information that, in this case, your opponent doesn't get to see. So it's kind of a unique aspect.
Wasn't there a Sphinx that just lets you look at the top card of your
Sphinx
library?
of Zwar Isle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do. Can you look at the top card like in response to like anything?
Not technically in response, because you can do it at any time. So you can
Right.
just be looking at in the middle of them trying
Yeah.
to do something. A little different than being in response.
When I think about it, yeah.
Also, there's a snake man with a falcon on his shoulder, and he's scratching a lion's head.
I love this card.
This is who I want to be in this set, just with a bunch of different animals following me around.
Does he have legs or is he just a snake body?
Oh, snake body.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like
Yeah.
mermaids, but on land.
Okay. Very cool.
Anyway, this card is very good. It's a good size for its cost, and it's going to get you huge value. Not to mention, you're never going to be mana screwed. You're not going to have a card you can't cast because of your mana on the top, because of that added last thing that seems kind of unnecessary.
You can spend mana as though or mana of any type.
Yep.
I think
cast creature spells.
that is so good.
Yep.
It's really good.
Vizier of Tumbling Sands. This is a blue 3 mana 1/3 that says tap, untap another target permanent, and it has cycling for 2. This is not as good as the last card.
There's an extra trigger there. When you cycle Vizier of Tumbling Sands, untap target permanent. So you can do that as an instant for 2 mana, where you draw a card also.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this seems pretty good.
I like it a lot.
I like this effect on creatures. Even though it on its own not that amazing, it does a lot. It can sort of give a creature vigilance.
Works well with Exert again.
Yeah, that's true. It also is mana ramp in blue.
Yep.
It's a mana dork in a way.
Yeah, because it does a permanent.
Yeah. So, not as, blatantly bomby as Vizier of the Menagerie, but Vizier of Tumbling Sands, he'll give you some good advice. Wander in Death. This is a black 3 mana sorcery. Brandon.
Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Cycling 2 colorless. Yeah, that's good.
This is gonna. I think this
it's
card.
Raise Dead times 2 plus an alternative option.
Yeah.
This card's gonna be more powerful than people initially think because of all of the cycling.
Oh yeah, that's especially true. Yeah, I mean, this is 3 mana to essentially draw 2 cards of your choice.
Yeah.
Of cards that you've already seen at some point. But yeah, this is a very well costed. The cost for sorcery effect is fine without the cycling.
Yeah.
So I would aggressively play this. Warfire Javelineer, 4 mana in red for a 2/3. When Warfire Javelineer enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to target creature an opponent controls, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. So following that theme a little bit, this seems good. It's not phenomenal, but late game, you're probably going to at least get 2 or 3 damage out of it, which is good for that cost. I probably wouldn't be super excited about curving out with this card, though, because it's going to be less likely that you've got worthwhile amount in your graveyard by then. But it's all right. It's a Minotaur also, which is proven to be tribal relevant.
Yep.
I think dropping it on turn 4 is kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
Because you might not have anything in your graveyard.
Oh, you know what? All the cycling stuff. You can fuel that a lot easier that way.
That's very true.
Yeah. Wasteland Scorpion, 3 for a 2/2. It's black, has Death Touch, and it has cycling.
Yeah.
Cycling of 2 colorless. Yeah, this is good. I like Death Touch. I'll play almost anything with Death Touch.
It's just so frustrating to deal with.
Sort of removal sometimes.
Yeah.
Unblockable.
When you're staring down a Death Touch creature and you have an army of things and you're like, man, if I attack, they're going to kill my best thing. Yeah. Definitely play this guy. Watchers of the Dead. They are artifact creatures. It's a cat.
They're cats!
It's a 2/2 artifact cat for 2. 2. There are 2 cats, 2 statue cats. Exile Watchers of the Dead. Each opponent chooses 2 cards in his or her graveyard and exiles the rest.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you exile it and you don't sacrifice it. Because you can't infinitely recur it.
Yep.
Which I don't think going to be super relevant in this set, but in Commander.
Yeah. It's fine. It's 2 for a 2/2. I'll play it.
Yeah. It's good
And
sideboard
I
tech.
think that ability will randomly be relevant. Them getting to choose makes it less exciting, but it'll be relevant.
Occasionally they'll have 2 cards in their graveyard, and you will just get rid of both of them.
Occasionally it'll be a 3/3 with lifelink, so definitely play it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Watchful Naga. This is a green creature, Naga Wizard for 3. It's a 2/2, and you can exert Watchful Naga as it attacks, and when you do draw a card.
Ooh.
I would probably exert this every time.
I would probably exert this every time. That's cool. Unless they're just real low and you want that damage, but yeah, that card value is pretty good.
This is a good bear in green.
That's cool that you can attack into their 2/2, and even if they go to block it, you're getting to draw the card immediately.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to deal the damage first.
And if you happen to trade, hey, which I imagine they'll want to trade with this card as soon as they can.
Yeah.
So, Wayward Servant. This is a white-black zombie 2/2. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
That's cool.
That's
it's a
really
sort
good.
of zombie lord type effect.
Yeah.
And that's super relevant, not only because there's just a mass amount of black and white zombies, but then all the embalming. Everything you embalm is going to trigger that.
Yep. This guy's going to be really powerful. Especially if you can get him out on curve. Oof, he's going to be sweet. Weaver of Currents. Oh, this is a cool card.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
This is a green-blue Naga Druid for 3. It's a 2/2 that adds tap 2 colorless to your mana pool.
I think it's really good.
Yeah, that's good mana ramp. Then you're able to drop a 6-drop on turn 4. That's
Solid.
Also, I just think the art is sweet.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very pretty.
I
like
bet this will look great in foil. Winds of Rebuke. This is a blue 2-mana instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Each player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. You know, I think you're right, Brandon. I think that mill deck might exist.
There's options for it for sure.
It's like a boomerang, kind of.
Yeah, but with added effect that could hurt or hinder you depending on each of your deck's builds.
Right.
But the fact that part is even and random, but you get to control the first part, is absolutely playable just for the bounce aspect. Also, actually, I'm going to look at this as basically a removal because of all of the tokens. Anything embalmed, it's going to kill that second version of their creature.
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
You only have to deal with it once instead of twice. Yep. Winged Shepherd. This is a 6-mana 3/3 in white. It's got flying and vigilance and cycling for 1 white.
That's all right.
Yep.
I don't know. I wouldn't pick it super high, but I would be satisfied with it as a late pick.
Yeah. Not exciting, just sort of generically good. Zenith Seeker. This is a 4-mana bird wizard. It's a 2/2 with flying, and when you cycle or discard a card, target creature gains flying until end of turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's ripped, too.
He is really ripped for a bird wizard.
Yeah.
Don't they know that strength is dump stat for wizards? I feel like
Not
he
this guy.
should have been. Yeah, not this guy.
Yeah.
He dumped decks.
Exactly.
He's not great at flying. Oh, this is the last card.
That's it.
Congrats, guys. We did it.
Yay, we're the best. All right, so I do want to talk about the set as a whole just a little bit.
You want to do that separately?
Do we? This is going to be a really short video. And
Okay.
we'll reward people for getting to the end of it.
That's true. Let's reward people.
Sure.
So this is your reward for sticking it out and getting to the end of our 3-part series. Mitch, do you have any overarching thoughts on this set?
I like a lot of the rare cards. Well, there were cards that that I wasn't here to review. There's like that I was telling James about. It's like Approach of the Second Sun. It's like whenever you cast it, if you've casted that card again, you win the game.
Yeah.
And I was talking with one of my friends, and I'm a big fan of like Turbo Fog decks, and that's a good win condition for for Turbo
Yeah.
Fog because the first time it gets you 7 life, which is what you need in Turbo Fog, and then second cast you win the game. But I think there's a lot of cool like combo pieces in this set that are really cool.
I feel like average card quality is very high.
Yes, and I was going to say my biggest thought is because of all the cycling, especially like the bad or filler junk cards are all playable. And I feel like after in sealed or draft, you're going to be sitting there with 40 playables.
Yeah,
and
for
you're
sure.
not going to know what to do.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get hit with decision paralysis when I go to make my first few decks.
Yeah. I think you'll just have to change your perspective a little bit. I mean, the first thing I do when I build a sealed pool is look for my creatures. What are the colors I have my most creatures in? I think I'm still going to do that. Only now I'm maybe going to look at Embalm as like a second creature.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I would value Embalm pretty highly as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to play this set. And
It's very thematic.
oh,
I think it's really cool. I like that cats are very prevalent. I like that there's a lot of white zombies because usually zombies are mostly black.
I don't think White has gotten zombies prior to this set.
They had some in like Ravnica because like Obsidat.
Oh, yeah.
That he
With
was
the white
white
black.
black.
Yeah.
But
Was he a zombie?
He was a spirit, but
Okay.
Was he a spirit? I thought he was a.
but there have been white-black zombies.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That he's a spirit.
I think the right decks. I think exerting is going to blow people out, and
yeah.
if it's used properly, not necessarily every time. I think there are a lot of pump effects, so I think creature heavy decks are gonna overrun in a number of ways.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of options.
Incoming message.
Mr. Worf.
I think Exert is it's a very easy mechanic for like new players to learn. Like it's just a simple thing that's on a card, and they're like, okay, should I make the decision to exert it and not attack next turn, or do I just attack with it normally? I think it's a cool decision mechanic that's not like super intense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then we started joking about it with the first few cards that came up. It's like, haha, you're not going to mill somebody, play this card. But I actually think milling is a viable strategy. There are a number of mill cards, and then I think every single player is going to be cycling enough stuff that they're going to be going through their deck.
Yeah.
So I think if you played a pseudo-defensive and got a decent pool of the mill stuff, which in draft especially usually passes around because people aren't going for it specifically, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of people getting decked.
Yep.
I do love mill decks. They're my favorite.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate you getting to the end of this. It's been a lot of fun for us to do. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to try and do more of these in the future, but we'll probably mix up the format a little bit. If you have any feedback on what you'd like to see or how you'd like to see us do it, please let us know in the comment section. Please call out Brandon on his particular opinions on cards.
Oh, yeah. They're bad.
Oh, we do have another announcement. Brandon is actually going to be gone the next 2 weeks, so there won't be regular drafts. It'll be Mitch and I.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get to watch James draft.
Yeah. It's going to be rough,
And
guys.
I'll be talking more, which is going to be rough as well. So, yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you this weekend, though. We're going to throw up our opinions, hopefully, as soon as we are done with our first pre-release event. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.